Video number 234, adding and subtracting decimals. Let's take a look at adding 0.4 plus 0.3, or really the correct way to say this is 4/10 plus 3/10. And of course, 5/10 plus 9/100. Well, the first one's very simple. If we were to do this, which we're not going to do this in the long run, this is just why you can just simply add the decimals together. The reason is because you can convert the decimals to a fraction, and of course they already have common denominators because they are in the same place in the number line. They're both in the tenths position. So of course 4/10 plus 3/10 is 7/10. Then we could of course, if we wanted to, convert this to 7/10 as a decimal. So this is the long way to do this. This is just the theory as to why adding the decimals together works. All right, same thing here. You have your 5/10 plus 9/100. Then in this case, we don't have common denominators, but look what happens. If you multiply the 5/10 by 10 over 10, you'll get 5 times 10 is 50, 10 times 10 is 100. Now you have common denominators. So now you have 50 plus 9, so 59. So you get 59/100. The long and short of it, the way we're really going to do this is we're going to call this 0.50 plus 0.09. We're going to put the decimals lined up with each other, and we're just simply going to add down to get the 59/100. But this is just, again, the theory as to why it works, just so you're comfortable with being able to line up the decimals and feel as if this definitely does work every time. Here's another example. This time you have mixed numbers. We have 4 and 605/1000 plus 13 and 7/100 plus 59/100. Then again, the theory on this, we could go ahead and change these to fractions and all this, but you'll see here, look what happens. You have thousands, hundreds, and hundreds. If you multiply both the top and bottom here by a 10, you'll get 70 over 1,000, 590 over 1,000, and then we get common denominators of 1,000. Now the other way to do it is just to simply add a 0 to the 7, add a 0 to the 59. And that's what we do over here. This ends up being the way we're going to actually perform these addition and subtraction problems. You'll line up the decimals, okay? Then you have 13.070 rather than just 13 and 7/100. And you tack a 0 onto the 59, and then you have 5 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 9, 16, 6 carry the 1. And then basically what you do is just do exactly like we've done in the previous videos in chapter 1 where we were adding whole numbers together. Just go ahead and feel free to go back and check those out. It really works the same way the moment you just simply line the decimals up. Okay, next one, subtraction. Now we have 18.9 minus 4.3. That's going to be a real simple one, as you can see here. You're just simply going to subtract 9 minus 3 and then 18 minus 4. I just wanted to show that you can do mental math on some of these. This, you can do some mental math, but we're going to show you a really cool method here. You're actually going to call this 25.000, and you're going to use 3 decimals because of these 3 decimals here. And then in this one, it can be confusing, but again, all you do is line up the decimals, and you'll be in good shape. So here, obviously, 14.6 is quite simply the answer to the first problem. You just subtract 18.9 minus 4.3. That's mental math. Here, again, like we said, you just change the 25 to 25 and 0/1000. If you really want a technicality here, you're simply adding zeros, lining up the decimals, and then you go to work and you subtract. Now, in this case, just in case you do need a refresher here, you can go back and check out the subtraction, but basically you do this. You change this 0 to a 10. Now, I like to teach it where you borrow from the 500, and then you bring it down to a 499. That's the way I think is the most effective way to do this subtraction. Whenever you're left with a bunch of zeros, a lot of people teachers will teach you to take this 10, call this a 10, borrow from it, call it a 9, call this a 10, borrow from it. I like, when I have a bunch of zeros like this, I just make this a 10, and then I borrow from the 500 to make it 499. I just think it's easier that way. Then you just subtract 9 minus 8 is 1, 9 minus 3 is 6, 4 minus 4 is 0, 2 minus 1 is 1. So you end up with 10 and 618/1000. Now I put this one in the video because people could get confused. Notice how this is 4.8. I went ahead and added a couple zeros. So definitely feel confident. You can add zeros at the end of any decimal, and the basic reason is because obviously 3/10 equals 30 out of 100. I mean, 3 out of 10 is the same thing as 30 out of 100. They're both, 30% chance of something happening. Okay? So then you just add the 0, 7 minus 0, 0, 6 minus 0 is 0, and then 5 minus 8, I went ahead and called this a 15. And then again, instead of borrowing from the 2, I just borrowed from the 12 and just called it 11. 11 minus 4 is 7, and you're all set. All right, so this is adding and subtracting decimals. We'll see you in the next one with multiplying decimals.